went and registered at the University of Lagos, Moabere School. I gbé báàgì gàrí lílá omi. But my gbé báàgì yẹn wọ school. Àwọn still light àwọn ti rí school tẹ́lẹ̀. And I dúró pé stop there. Where are you going? I'm a student here. Student. Why do you think this place is a refugee camp? Why do you carry this big gari? You are embarrassing us. Mo sáà bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé Tasha jẹ́ ní gbé gàrí wọlé. Àwọn máa lè ó wá dálẹ̀ wá bá mi pé àwọn fẹ́ tẹ̀sì gàrí yẹn. Ṣé ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ gbà pé kí ó sorúkọ ẹ̀ ní London àfọ̀ àti gbé wá ni? Only let me test that gàrí whether it's better than the Ìjẹ̀bú gàrí. Bó bá gàrí London kù sí ó ti máa bú gàrí. Anyways, so when my father died, I saw that anybody who Kribo, higher institutions in particular, that it will support them. It's Bobia and I say why before they supporting them, but by me, nobody find low. That last say why so like I'm Bobby, I find low you and no. So it's to push everybody to do higher institutions because Kribo here at a point. Maybe for that why law university you made Jilo. At the point. In fact, to our law institution, and you law university, Kribo, and make what I want. And me and I'm about wale. Mama has smoke going at Baba. Nobody daro. That Gemma power, to be war. But with more law school more for. And I don't about tolerate right to point a guy. And it's also part of the reason why I use it to encourage young people. Hey, see your can. We can also go to higher places. Basis Yabada scholarship. I'm very happy. I was very scared in 2019 when I was in detention. They will release me in I think December. They came and they arrested me inside the courtroom. The only thing I was worried about, they might ask for any scholarship, but I don't want to miss the scholarship. I wasn't afraid of being in detention. I hope I didn't lose detention, but I was worried that we may not have money to do the scholarship. But luckily enough, they released me on the 24th of December 2019. Immediately, whatever money we have, because I couldn't travel at that time. I was restricted to Abuja by a judge. So I'm very happy that it has reached this level. Luckily enough, we registered the foundation this year through Barrister Allen Ogibe. And I a scholarship law for the first time. Say lawyer I would die. Mobile register. So the brothers member you say lawyer. Fair practice. Kid them fair practice. I'm a quail robe by law me. You make other engaging because of mammy that so for never say lawyer, yeah, can lawyer court into the Brahmin. All the time I want to represent it. Another challenge you, double challenge you. Another challenge you, double challenge you. So I know to die inside I will marry my wife. I never regret to be a doctor and Luther. But luckily enough, brothers, I have two of them who are lawyers. The third one is on the way, but but I'm very happy for all of them on a serious note, and I'm very happy to see most of you. And that somehow some of you have benefited from the scholarship. And my advice is that when you get there too, try and do something for this town. Around the tabla ragba maybe Kribo. Yeah, where they can afford 100,000. And if anybody, Akawa and Lowerewe, is it for anybody 100,000, maybe I only pay Lara. But that 100,000 can mean a lot for a lot of people. Say, as bad as Nigeria is today, 50,000 naira is still a lot of money for it. Because it's more than the minimum wage. Till that day, Obanishe will need admission come out of school. Even if your dad is working, he may not be able to send you to school because he can't afford it. Only Baba Bima Yoko. Well, the man can't be my yokan. They send the law to school because they don't have money. So, what the challenge is, I'm a credible quantity and you know say, hey, you damn know. But regardless, doing my best as I'm alive. But it's not. There's this story about a man in Ireland, and he went to a restaurant, Olojeun. Ìgbà tí ó fẹ́ jẹun, ó wá béèrè pé, èló ló ń jẹ? How much is this food? Only way, just eat as much as you want. He said, why? He said, your grandfathers have paid for you. Ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí jẹun. Èkè ọ̀ dàrí látàárọ̀ dálẹ́. Beer, everything. But why shaking? Why you turn over Carlo? Funny bill. But you said my grandfathers have paid for me. Say, well, you have to pay for your own grandchildren too, because that is the only way we can keep this place open. Yes. So the same thing applies to all of you. You went to school, your grandfathers paid for you, your friends paid for you. But when you're about to go, we will also ask you to pay for the ones that are coming behind you. It's very, very important. Look at all of you now. You are, and I'm sure this is not all the students from Kiribo. Now. Nígbà kan Kiribo tẹ̀ ń lọ sí higher institution. The secondary school we went to, wọ́n ti pa. Ní Kiribo after 1985 tá a ṣetán, wọ́n ti pa. Because we don't have connection. Àwọn abati secondary school yẹn. Àwọn parents wa, àwọn Lápẹ́já, àwọn kò lọ here Àkúrẹ́, àwọn permanent secretary, wọ́n agbẹja lọ́wọ́, wọ́n á lọ sí. When they come padà wá again, they can't see the commissioner of education. So ìgbà tó ń ṣe títí tí wọ́n lè reopen school, they now came back. Owó òtúkùn, alákàmúra ewúrẹ́ fún abẹ́lẹ́ka bọ̀ fàkàsí pẹ̀rẹ̀ fọ́dí sílẹ̀ kan. Boye his school, I can accuse the right for an out to school, to school, they had joined to school, government load to school. But later on, but only better connection, they won't log by secondary school. The secondary school is still there, no matter how bad it is, it's still operational. And I also try to support the secondary school. Say, well, believable in Ondo State, that a secondary school don't have teachers. Ondo State. The only industry in Ondo State is education. I pay for secondary school teachers every day. Pẹ̀lú Bora room, but about the first week, I like to praise Bora. You try, you reach out to everybody. Hey, maybe you will man, lower you come and pay the teachers in the secondary school. So, but look at it. This is the same secondary school that most of you also graduated from. This town, fortunately, has produced a deputy governor of a state who graduated from this secondary school. Agbola we were in the secondary school together. I think we entered in 1981. I was in 1980. I was the first set. Now, the town has a commissioner. The town has produced a local government chairman. Well, then challenge you. I always challenge them when I say, including my brothers. There's no excuse not to be when you are a former deputy governor. But about in Nigerian, you ask all of us to come and fight for you. But they can do better, than they are doing now, and that's very important. So, like Farogun, I thank all of you for coming. This is the first time we are making a public information on it. I think most of you are on Facebook, right? And we hope you join us later in the day. I also want to say to you that this has become somehow an international event. My brother to my left here, Kevin, came from Cameroon. I mean, he's a Cameroonian. He's based in Nigeria. And he was surprised when he entered. He slept in Odere, Lano. He was surprised. He said he got to here. I said, well, everybody knows everybody in this village. The only thing is that because of the value system, our parents have been weakened by poverty. So, during the New Year's Day in this Kribo, you start eating from house to house. After Omoloye, we go downtown with Onemre Eba, Onemre Boyoro, Yoro. Ono ba ka be kan we boko lisa. O kan he lodun ni. Aka je káàkiri. Da ba je tán. Àwa ka káàkiri la ka gbé ọdún kí àwọn bàbá rẹ̀. Àwọn bàbá mi ke nowo. Ni ma fẹ́ ho lo gan. Bàbá ti jókòó títí na bá ti wá yo aka pariwo pé ẹ ṣe wá lálejò. A fẹ́ lọ. Aka bu àwọn bàbá rẹ̀ pé bàbá dùgbẹ̀dùgbẹ̀ kò ní kobo lọ́wọ́. Yes, for me, I pay my low, but yes. So, also, the last thing I will say is that when you have means, take care of your parents as well. It's not that we didn't have means to take care of our parents, but I wish my dad was still alive today. Because everything he wished for is happening now, but he's not around to witness it. My father said everything is, he didn't discriminate against any of his children. Man, female, male, my father will train you. It's up to you. He will train you up to a point. And at the point he divided out the house, he said to me, I'm going to train 6 of you. And the rest 6 will train the rest. And that's also happened. He trained about 6 of us, and the rest of us took care of the rest. But I wish he was around no matter to just witness all of his plans for us, But we knew later after he died that he knew that he would not last. Because one day he called us and said that, there is a particular snake that after it delivers powerful children, they will go inside the snake and eat it. So that's how we knew later on that my dad knew he won't be around. But everything you are saying with my brothers, my sister, he predicted them. So everyone, I'll make sure that all of you can succeed. The first house with a decking in Nigeria, in this village, my dad tried to build it, but he couldn't put a roof on it. Because at the point, it was broke. Somebody was asking me yesterday, that going by the way I lived when I was growing up, that my dad was rich. I said, yes. At the point, my dad was one of the richest people in this village. He had a generator. He built a house that he wanted to build a house with a decking. But the Nigerian economy Nigeria started happening to everybody from the 80s. Why? During their own time, when he was a teacher, his salary was 120 naira per month. It is better than the salary of a civil servant now that is collecting 30,000. So they could afford to buy all kinds of things. And that's why I think he ended up with many wives and children. So, guys, thank you so much. I know I keep telling you these stories, but they are very important to me. So, the Aquaria here, Apoy, where I say, you also have to look for a job. And I also know that most of you are involved in politics. And say politics. And Kribo were very vibrant as a political. But I think Nigeria is one of the most political. Kribo is one of the most political places I've ever been. This is my hometown. Reason is that in my father's house, this house, there are 4 political parties in this house alone. I'm telling you, we have PDP. One of my brothers is a PDP chieftain. One of my younger brothers is an APC chieftain. I'm an AAC presidential candidate. There's also revolution now in this house. So there are some of us that don't greet during election. only the last time I'm Akira until after the election. Because of this is, I'm not joking, this is political reality. But it's because of the nature of Kiribo and our prayer. So thank you guys so much again. I want to wish you Happy New Year and wish you the best for 2023. I hope that when next I'm addressing you, I'll be addressing as the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yes. Hey Joe, before you, we also have a boat cruise to Opoto in the afternoon. If you know how to swim, you're free to come with us for the first water rally in Nigeria. We are the only one that do rally inside water. So you are invited to also join us. Thank you, leader.
At least if YB this security lay whiter and the Tiwamatari. This is our third time of coming here. We came here I think 3 years ago. Lady Babatiwa and Silekunkowa. And the Dupelonga, the Jakitian, Lodi Wine, Jason. And challenges is going to run in Kribo, Ellie, Salah, Maso. Tori, Emosi, President, Federation of the Local Government Student in him. Tori Pang, Executive Metigambe, mainly for me, President to Oma Kribo Mutigan, Mualonda Kribo. To be Bawa later, I ran the appoint. I read so many places where our students they joke and they call Winnibe. Ni Ayogba Gaguti Rambe, we try almost every year. I can call locals and share. About what you are Milan Junipe, Bamon, the day Luran, the time of walk barrier, you loot or dominibe, to your domoto was to Juni Kiribo. Ha! Oh, Yamilan, we say community high school to was to Toi. School Jack Pedi, Agakambe, Rashe Kitele, and for the lag told you a Hino Hall. We all my brother Jukolima, oh, down Japan, Louis Diri Loka, and Mujo Quibe. Sir, the bike Tori and say it, I government by, but Lagbara alone, that about 2 better. The bike Palika for any shares at the locals, and that the promise for any teachers to my challenges in it. We are for one teachers and made to love better my pay is anti for Aribe. But locals and shares is responsibility government in it. But government wa be back pariwo gba ma lo protest gan to mo iban lewa so awa ke de fe dan pa wa kono do ba to stage ka ta tu jade tori olowo e bayi o le language o je pa understand o no se protest yen aba le ti collect yi uboye da collect yi ero so padek mo ti gyan pe a need share o chairman yen menu ba ogboju ko nibe but me ti lọ for the second time mo ba lo de ba ti da wa lohun àwa yẹn to occupy street pé a gbọ́dọ̀ gbàṣẹ torí ẹ̀ hanwó school tó ti bẹ́ẹ̀ sà tí Kiribo in particular sà náà bá lè fún wa ní share bó tẹ̀ sí some pieces of shares náà kárúbó jókòó yín so that ìtìjú yẹn á kúrò níbẹ̀ àti pé sà Federation of the Local Government Students I like àti rí yan but míì bá mi ṣe àti lè rí yan torí rẹ̀ yan báyìí àti activities ó pọ̀ gan míì mà bí wọ́n lè fún wa ní time já lè wá rí yan dátẹ̀ bá wọn ṣe ìpàdé àṣegbà sáà. Yes, sir.
So, it is because we are on Facebook. So, for those of our friends who may not understand our local dialect, it's pertinent that students are not complacent. When I mean complacent, you have to fight for your rights, and you have to fight the government. I don't have any illusion about that. Because what individual persons can do for education is too small to be relied upon. It's not our job to provide chairs. They make provisions for chairs. In Ondo State in particular, and I hope the governor is hearing me, it's a shame that the governor is underperforming. Nobody, no school in Ondo State, no community in Ondo State should be paying teachers. When I was going to school in Kiribo here, said this before, under the EPN government in 1918, we received 12 exercise books free. We received a math set. We received over 14 books. I remember our English book, it was made by one P.O. Tregido. And we had teachers, not only teachers from this part of the world, we had teachers from all the way from Ghana. We had one Mr. Aminu Wode, he was our Bible knowledge teacher. Then there's the P.K. Cramper, he was our English teacher. We had youth corpers that come around. There's Omoloye was one of our. So there's complete presence of teachers at all levels. I went to the secondary school one day, and I'm afraid to go there these days. And I found the chairs we had in 1985 is still in that secondary school. The louvers on the window that I still saw that, I don't know if they have removed them now. Abi, is it still there? Yes. So it's complete shame. And this is where I will make a little bit of campaigning. That our party, the African Action Congress, will ensure that education is prioritized and that we have free education once again, at all levels. There will not be, if I had to pay for education, I won't be sitting in front of you. That's the truth. I won't have this level. It doesn't mean that education makes you the best person. There are people who didn't go to school who are doing well in Kiribo as well. Who didn't go, and there are people who went to school that are not doing well. But at least you give people a chance, an opportunity to advance in ways that are multidimensional. That's what education does for people. So the Ondo State governor is probably listening. If he's not listening, his commissioners are listening. And if his commissioners are not listening, there will be a news story about it tomorrow. That Ondo State government is not paying, don't have enough teachers across board in secondary schools. And they are not providing education materials, learning materials that makes learning safe for students. The Nigerian government has also in this regard. Ondo State government has ways of funding education. They have a super deck, DDC. They also have the state Ministry of Education. Those three combined should make every classroom at minimum look like this living room with air conditioning, generator, everything. The whole of Ondo South, there's no electricity for 30 years now. No electricity. At the point that to fund the protest in 2018 to block, but it's normal with young people. The small protests, they are having auctional meetings of the same oppressors, and they abandon the struggle. So it's very important. Our party tells you, or we're telling you that what this will be able to pass, not only in Kiribo, but across Nigeria. And another thing we plan to do for higher institutions is that we want to make every higher institution in Nigeria with a university. So that you want to study as a teacher, instead of going to college of education, you go to university. And you'll be done either in 2 years or 3 years, depending. But you know, after doing OND, HND, and somebody is saying that you are about to spend 4 years due. People who did OND and HND have spent more time in them than people have BS. Because 2 years, they will be at school for another year, mark again and do it again. It's like 5 or 6 years. So that parity will be established. But there's no need for us to be having college of education. Everything will be university. And everybody will have access to it. We will abolish this idea of universities doing a second exam after you have passed JAMB. That is discriminatory. The universities just use it to give admission to their children and the children of their friends. and they leave out the children of the poor. It is not likely today in Nigeria that you can get admission without knowing anybody. I got admission with a letter of admission sent to my house from JAMB. I didn't know anybody. My father didn't know anybody. I didn't know any traditional rulers or a military general or a minister or commissioner. Nobody gave me notes. I got admission on merit. And it's partially part of I don't owe my life to anybody. It guarantees you complete independence when you get anything you want in life, on merit. But in Nigeria, they will subjugate you even after you have higher cutoff points. The people who didn't get the cutoff points you got will get admission before you. But when you go to the university, the same children of the rich will not be begging to sit next to you during exam. Because mentally, you are more alert and more serious than they. Because even in school, they don't study. They rely on their parents stealing money. That's the way it is in Nigeria. So we want to abolish a system that has destroyed meritocracy and restore meritocracy in every sector. It's the only way Nigeria can find its way out of poverty and misery. For female. That's the way it should be. There should be a stadium-sized sporting arena in every secondary school, not even in university. Every secondary school should have a sporting arena that's of international standard. That's what we bring to Nigeria. And these things are not difficult. Somebody was telling me that the miserable solar panel, street panel you have here, it costs them NDDC, it costs 140,000 naira to replace one bulb. Yes, this bulb they are selling for 600 naira. Yes, corruption has finished the country. The money that went through NDDC and Superdec should have turned the Niger Delta area into Amsterdam or to be competing with London, the UK, anywhere in the world. But thieves keep, stealing. And the people also like to vote for thieves. So a lot of the blame also go to our voters, our brothers and our sisters. And that's why we've always decided, as a political person, I will never bribe anybody to vote for me. If you like, vote for what is right. I know that in another 4 years, you will eat your own breakfast too. Yes, now. Yes, last. Everybody will chop breakfast in this country. There's no escaping it. If you don't chop breakfast, your son or daughter will chop breakfast. And that's why we are very hard on our parents too. Our parents are part of the reason we are in the situation we are. They were very complacent. They don't complain, especially in this our area. Anything, don't fight government too. I don't know how many people have seen parents in this town. They'll call me, you can never defeat government too. How can you not defeat government? I've defeated many governments in my lifetime. And I'm glad that I took that route. It's not to give recognition to my name or that of my family. It's to make the world a better place. So I also would like to encourage you, don't fight and run away because you may not live and fight another day. It depends on your enemy. They give you, if you fight and run away, that is if the enemy is a weak enemy. They will pursue you as you are running away and go and trap you and kill you. But I don't want that to be the case. Again, it's very lovely to meet with you guys. We'll continue to have conversations off record and see whatever we can do to support your association and also support the community in very serious way. But we also continue to fight for a government that is responsible and responsive to people's needs. Very, very important, that we do that. There's nothing wrong if Kiribo produces 3,000 graduates in the next 10 years. You will just make this place a better place and perhaps the world a better place. One last thing I'll say is that I always boast of it. Like I was saying earlier, that my happiest moment is when I come back to this village. I'm not one of those people who say, oh, you have made it, you are above your village. Then you start building another person's hometown for them. The first and only house in Nigeria is this house. I don't have a house anywhere except in the US. But even the US house, I don't consider it my house. That's a Yibo house. Because if you don't pay their mortgage, they will collect it back. But this one, nobody's going to collect it from me. Yes, this is my own house. And it's real. So I'm always happy to come back to this village. When my father died, and they were gathering around my father, and everybody was like, he's a great man, he's a great man. I said, yes, he's a great man because the man came back to develop his community in his own little way. He graduated from Aye Teachers, is a grade 2 teacher. Came back and started teaching in his village. How many people are willing to teach in their own village if they have a degree? How many ones amongst you are even willing to come back to this village if you make it? Some of you will never come back again because they have lied to you that there are witches and wizards here, as if there's no witch in Lagos, or there's no witch in America. The idea of witches and wizards came from United Kingdom. They are the ones who started it by flying on brooms. There's no witch here, only poor people. Damn poor people. Let them bring electricity here. The witches will even be dancing. Everybody will have their own life. If everybody is good, why would somebody be flying at night when he has a daytime job? You want to when you come back from work, you want to go and sleep now. You will go and work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 5 p.m. You will now go at 7 p.m. again to go and be looking for one imaginary human meat when you have goats in your refrigerator and cow, So, but we are made to believe in enemies. No, they are not. Most of them are suffering like you. Like most of you, some of them have challenges that they didn't make it in life. So the jealousy and all that is all human. Everybody wants to make it. Everybody. There's nobody you ask in this village, do you want to send your child to university? They will tell you yes. Do you want to send your child abroad? They will tell you yes, no matter how poor they are. No matter how poor they are, they are not interested in eating your meat. Who told you that your meat is sweet? You understand that somebody will now, and we never see the meat the way they say that they chop self. How can you eat somebody and the person is still walking around the next day? And they say, our jetty jail, we won't take part any meeting. There's no meeting anywhere, just poor people. Solve the problem of poverty, put hospital here. You will discover that you don't have problems. All this whole sensational stories about people killing people. I've volunteered myself in this village for a long time for them to kill me. They know they touch me, and I'm grateful to them. The only witch in my life is Nigerian government. Now they won't kill me. Thank you very much.